closing comments. The honourable member for North Island Powell River.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank the member for his intervention. Now, I do know that in 2018-2019, the Standing Committee on Transport, Infrastructure and Communities undertook a study that talked about the impact of aircraft noise on the vicinity of major Canadian airports. One of the things that was recommended is to implement a public noise consultation committee, which this bill does in fact implement. So we know that community groups have expressed concern that these committees would be a bit of a hollow gesture and that there's nothing that guarantees their ability to be heard and for that public input to be implemented moving forward. So I'm just wondering if this member could talk about why this is important and how important it is for us to look at this bill in committee to change some of those things so that people's voices are heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to thank the member for the question. It's a great question. Noise abatement. That's the common term in the aviation industry. And having experience firsthand in that industry, being a pilot myself who just this past summer completed my instrument rating. I could talk a little bit about NAV Canada and how great those folks were at the NAV Canada office in Winnipeg while I took my flight test, and they were a little short-staffed, and they allowed me to complete the approaches necessary to fulfill my license requirements. And so I want to thank the good folks at NAV Canada in Winnipeg. In answer to her question, you know, for those of us that are not necessarily fascinated with aviation, other than that it's an opportunity to travel from one destination to the next, you might wonder why when a jet aircraft in particular takes off, it does certain things on takeoff. It'll change course, it'll climb to a certain altitude, and it'll reduce power. And I know some people think that that's an engine problem, but it's not. You know what it's called? It's called noise abatement. They're flying over a built-up or a residential area to reduce the noise level for the folks on the ground. I think the aviation industry is very conscious of that, and you know what? Perhaps they need to dig further into that subject, because it's a very good question, and it's something that I think they're addressing, but I mean, of course, we can always do better.